Hi people, welcome back to the third part of probability of simple events. We have studied probability, we have studied odds, but what if we're changing? How do we know when we're moving from probability to odds and vice versa? How are we going to do this? So let's go back to the previous activity, right? So we were considering dice less than 3. So we have numbers from 1 to 6. Okay, and then we were considering 1 and 2, which is what we're looking for. I showed you that we had the probability of less than 3, it was 2/6, which is the same as a third, which is the same as 33.3%. And I showed you that the odds are 2 out of 4, which is a half, which is 50%. All right. What if we only knew that I'm starting from probability to odds? What if we didn't know the range? You didn't know what you were looking for. What if the problem only told you that the probability of less than 3 is a third or 33.3% and asked you, it's hard. I haven't been using my hand lately, so I'm writing everything wrong. And asked you for the odds. How do you go from this to this? How do you go from the probability to the odds? That's very simple. Remember that the odds are a ratio between success and failure, while probability is only interested in out of all the chances that you have, all the possible answers, either both success and failure. What is the probability of the event happening? It's not interested only in success to failure. It's interested in success to everything. So let's write it here. Success to everything. And then there is a big difference because you here only have 4 chances of failure, while you here have 6 chances of everything happening, right? So that means for us to get from the probability to the odds, we already know the success. The success is going to be the same. How do we know everything? How do you know the failure? How do we change from one to the other? Piece of cake. Let's think that in total we have 100, thinking of percentage first. Let's consider the percentage first. So let's say that you have 100% of chances in the event, right? Let's say that everything happens, it's 100%. Okay. So this 100% could be divided in 2 parts, which is success and failure, right? So the chances of having success, we already calculated, right? The probability of success out of everything, the part that represents the success, is 33.3%, right? We just found it. The problem gave you this, and it's asking for the odds. So out of the 100%, 33.3% represent exactly your success. Remember, success over everything. Now, your failure can also be represented as failure over everything. When we are thinking about the probability of something happening, it's either the probability of success out of everything or of failure out of everything. In this case, we calculated the probability of success. So how do you, if you know that out of 100% you get 33.333 forever of success, your failure is the remainder. Therefore, makes sense, right? Because if you put them both together, you're getting to 100%, right? So far, so good. Now, because the odds, again, I'm going to write it down again, is the ratio between success and failure. And we have them as percentages. In the place of success, we put its representation in percentage. In the place of failure, we put its representation as a fraction. If we simplify this, it becomes a half. And if you go back here, a half is exactly the odds of your success. Yay, so you got exactly to these odds, the odds of success over failure, through a different way. Now, using fractions. If your fraction for the probability of less than 3 was a third, all right? Let's put it like this: 1, 2, and 3. So 1/3 is success. 1 out of the 3 represents success. 2 and 3 represent failure. So you have one number that represents success, and you have two numbers, no matter which numbers they are, two numbers that represent failure. So, again, odds are success over failure. You have one number that represents your success, and you have two numbers that represent your failure. Again, a half. Or, again, 50% here or here. Right? We can also represent the odds as 1 to 2. Okay? That means 1 chance of success for every 2 chances of failure. Right? It's like a ratio, a proportion. I love my neighbor. Clear? Piece of cake, right? Not so hard.